What's up, guys? It's Ryan McCartan, and you are watching the Permanent Rain Press.
Can you say you left me when you haunt me every day?
Hey guys, it's Chloe from the Permanent Rain Press. Today I am here with Ryan McCartan. How are you doing today?
Great, thank you for asking.
So it is kind of rainy in Vancouver. I'm sure you're not really used to that with the LA weather.
No, I'm not a betting man, but if I was in LA, I'd bet on 75 and sunny every day, and I'd probably be right most of the time.
So I guess we'll start with a simple question. What inspired you to become an actor?
It's a great question. Actually, I love this question because I'm a huge family guy, and it's my sister, my older sister, who's also a performer. She inspired me from the very beginning. I started when I was 8 years old, and it was all because of her. And so anytime someone asks me that question, I get to give my sister Allison a little shout out.
So I know you did a lot of theater. Did that also, kind of help to where you are now?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people ask me, if I've taken like acting classes or like how I trained, and I always say theater. I started doing theater from a very young age, and all of the kind of like tools that I've picked up on the way that I've needed to learn to be successful on the film and television side have come from theater. So that was a huge launching pad for me.
And last year you starred as JD in Heathers, the musical, the Off-Broadway adaptation of the dark comedy film. What was that experience like?
It was amazing. I mean, JD and Heathers in general is just such an iconic piece and an iconic character. Just even hearing that was something that was going to happen with or without me was so awesome to me, just because I love the film. And then actually booking it and getting to play that role 8 shows a week, and the audiences loved it. So just that energy. I mean, there's nothing like live theater, and just being right there with your audience and telling that story. It was a riot. I had so much fun. And
you would go back to that role in a heartbeat?
Oh, absolutely. I love JD.
And I also read that Christian Slater, who of course played JD in the 1988 film, actually went to go see the play, though he didn't expose himself until after it was over. I'm sure you were just a little bit excited about that.
Yeah, we caught wind of a rumor during intermission that he might be out there. So needless to say, the entire second act I was a nervous wreck. And when he actually did show, I mean, you can look it up on Google. When he actually did show up, there are pictures of me like on my knees. There are pictures of me like going like this. Like I fangirled for Christian Slater. I mean, I look up to him so much, and obviously he originated that role and nailed it. And just to have him there and to see the whole piece was really, really cool for all of us.
I'm sure it was, right? Not everyone gets to say like, oh, the person who played, me in the original film adaptation came and saw me, and I think he did like it. He did say it was a bit different, musical obviously, but yeah, that's great to hear. Another role you play, kind of the opposite spectrum, more lighthearted, family-friendly. Liv and Maddie, you played Diggy. Can you tell us a bit about that? What's your favorite part about that role or transition?
Yeah, well, it's very funny that you mentioned that, because I had a lot of Liv and Maddie fans come and see me in Heathers, and so I would kind of do an aside to them, and sometimes their parents too, and be like, I do something a little different in this show than I do on the Disney Channel. Yeah, Diggy, I mean, it's nice because JD and Diggy are kind of two different sides of me, obviously homicidal tendencies aside. But JD, that sort of dark charisma and sort of that smoothness that I like to think I possess, and then Diggy, sort of that quirky side and that dorky side that I absolutely know I possess. So it's a nice equilibrium between the two of kind of a representation of who I am.
And in Liv and Maddie, of course, you star opposite Dove Cameron, your on-screen love interest, and off-screen as well. You guys seem like such a supportive couple. How do you stay grounded or keep each other grounded in the industry today? I
mean, you kind of said it. That's what we do. We keep each other grounded. It's not necessarily a question of how. It's just the fact of the matter is you have to do it. You need a support system. Something that I've said, I think, in almost every interview I've done, is that no one gets anywhere alone. Right, and so to have a really supportive family or a really supportive girlfriend or boyfriend is absolutely crucial, because it's hard. It's just plain and simple. It's a hard industry, like any job. You know, the grind, and you have to work really hard. You have to put your time in. You know, there's a lot of waiting around. There's a lot of downtime. There's a lot of expectancy, nervousness. You know, and so to have someone by your side to help you through that is a total game changer. And she's really good about that. And like I said before, I like to think that I am too.
And you guys also collaborate musically.
Yes.
I think you were called Rub before. Not sure if it's still going under that name. Maybe just your individual names, Ryan and Dove. But you released your original song, "Someone You Like," in October. Great catchy tune, kind of indie pop like. Do you have any other plans to release new covers or original songs in the future?
What I can say is that we have tons of plans. Tons of them. We no longer go by Rub Band. We no longer go by Vignette, although those two names have been circulating. Rub Band just wasn't like, you know, a name up in lights enough for us, and Vignette was actually already trademarked. So we have just officially trademarked our new band name, which we will release in a matter of months, along with our first single, which will come in a matter of months. Our first official one, iTunes release, music video, all that. We're working with some really great developers in Nashville, working on some music with them. So we are very much in the infancy stages of our band, but we're getting the ball rolling. We're doing it. So stay tuned for that.
And you yourself, you guys are both solo artists as well. You released your single "You Can't Unlove Me" back in December. It's up on iTunes for anyone who wants to go get that. Where do you get your inspiration from when you're songwriting?
Oh my gosh, everywhere. The really cool, I'm so lucky to be able to talk about this. I have some really cool guys that I'm working with back in LA. You know, the guys who are mixing my sound, the guys who are writing with me, the guys who are producing my stuff, and they're all very open to all of the different musical influences that I have. You know, I have classical and jazz influences. I also have sort of like gritty, you know, country and rock influences. Then there's obviously sort of that indie pop side that I also have in my musical repertoire. And so, you know, Unlove is kind of that country pop, Josh Groban, Michael Bublé side of things. But then, you know, I'm also working on some songs that are a lot grittier, and then a couple songs that are even almost electronic. So, you know, I have a ton of influences, and luckily the people I'm working with are allowing me to sort of show all of those influences. And I'm working on a debut album as we speak.
Definitely kind of, I guess, putting that on hold to be in Vancouver and work on Monsterville, Cabinet of Souls, based on the R.L. Stine book. Can you share any details about that?
Not a ton. What I can say is that I play a character who's sort of a bait and switch antagonist. So you think he's a good guy for a while, and then you figure out that maybe he's not quite. Actually, interestingly enough, kind of the nexus between the nice boy next door boyfriend and the crazy side of JD. So if you like Diggy and you like JD, then you'll like the character I play in this movie too.
And I'm sure you're loving playing that in between role you were talking about.
Yes, absolutely.
And also the cast, Dove, you star opposite Dove, Kat McNamara, Braden LeMasters, Tiffany S. Benson. I know you guys celebrated Tiffany's birthday recently. She put on Instagram that you guys sung happy birthday to her. Dove baked her cupcakes. Are you looking forward to, you know, getting to know the rest of this cast a bit better over these next few weeks?
Yeah, absolutely. It was actually really funny. We landed, all of us got here Friday night, Saturday morning. We worked very briefly on Saturday. We had the table read of the script on Sunday. And then it was Canada has Family Day, which we don't have. America doesn't have that. So we had, I know, right? So we had Family Day, and then our production just happens to have Tuesday and Wednesday off. So we got here, we worked for 2 days, and then had 3 days off. So we've already been hanging around, you know, exploring the city. I mean, such a great group of people. I love every single one of them already, and I've only known them for 3 days, well, with the exception of Dove. So yes, absolutely. I mean, we are already making plans to go zip lining, go to the suspension bridge, and eat sushi, and explore the city, do everything that we need to do. So we're very, very excited.
And I guess to wrap things up, I know we were going to ask for fan questions, but you actually did an Ask Ryan the other day, so kind of took that off already. But we have a couple of fun questions that we ask. So who would you rather face in a fight, a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Wow, that's a very hard question. I think I'd take on the 100 duck-sized horses, because worst case scenario, I think I could run away from all of them. A horse-sized duck that can fly and it's gigantic. That sounds a lot scarier to me.
That is a very good answer. And lastly, if you could be any ice cream flavor, which would you be and why?
Originally, I wanted to say chocolate chip cookie dough because that's my favorite ice cream flavor, but that's my favorite to eat. So honestly, I think, again, going in the theme of survival, I would want to be a really gross ice cream flavor so no one would eat me, so I could stay alive as often as possible. So, you know, like, I don't really like pistachio ice cream or like something like that that no one would want.
You're going with the kind of literal meaning.
Yes, absolutely. I don't want to get eaten.
That about, on that note, that about wrap things up. Yeah, you can get Ryan's latest single, You Can Unlove Me, on iTunes, and catch him in Live and Maddie Season 2. And can you wrap things up with a quick, saying a quick message to your fans?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, as always, if you guys have caught any of my interviews, my fans are my everything. I absolutely love you guys, and without you, I wouldn't be even close to where I am. So I love you, and thanks for watching.